Joining me today is retired Colonel Clint Granger. So Clint, I noticed when you walked in, you had a cane and you had a limp, and is this related to your years of service?
Oh yeah. The military is occasionally a little hazardous.
Okay.
And the limp comes from two things. First of all, I made a parachute jump on Okinawa, and the parachute didn't work.
So this was part of your practicing training?
Yeah.
You're in Okinawa, what year was this? 60s, 50s, 60s?
61.
Okay.
62. At any rate.
So you're out, you get out of the plane?
Helicopter in
Helicopter,
this case.
And you jump?
Jump.
You're how many feet above the ground?
About 1,200.
Okay, and the parachute does not open?
Oh, it opened, but it streamed.
So it's just this?
That's right. It's no lift.
Okay.
It looks like a punctured balloon. Worse yet, it tangled my reserve, so I couldn't pull that. So I went into the ground.
Well, so what were you thinking? I mean, it's what, 10 seconds?
Yeah, about 10 seconds.
What?
You don't have time to think very much. So, in? Yes. Boom. That's about it.
So you have time
that may be a blessing in itself.
Okay. All right, so did you hit trees, or, I mean, how'd you survive that? I guess you don't know.
I'm not very big. I weighed in at about 120 odd pounds, and fortunately I hit a bush, which cushioned it a little bit, but not enough.
So you're lying on the ground and you think, holy mackerel, I'm alive, or how did that happen?
Well, when I came to, yeah.
Okay.
And so, and I checked to see if the parts worked, and I was okay until I tried to sit up. And that didn't work. I had too many pieces out of place. So, all right. Eventually, they hauled me to the hospital. I remember lying in the back of the ambulance all by myself, and I could hear them talking in the front. And I was bored. I always carried a book in my pocket, in my field jacket, and I fished that out and said, okay, I'll just read my book for a while. And then I heard the conversation, you think he's dead? No, my gosh, I'm all right, I'm just reading. So that was not a good time, because I spent a long time recovering from that one.
Well, I imagine most people who fall from a helicopter, whose parachute don't open, who survive, spend a bit of time recovering.
Well, as I got to the point where I was recovering all right, they said, well, it's all right. You can be a desk jockey from here on out. I don't want to. No. You're going to give me a number profile that'll keep me from regular combat duties? No. So they didn't.
Was that your last jump?
That was the last jump, that's right.
Okay, you never jumped again, though?
No, never again.
So you were strictly infantry after that point in time?
Well, not strictly. I started out, yes, 1542 as an infantry ground commander. And I became a 71542, which made me an airborne infantry commander. But then after that particular escapade, back and went to Washington and said, I want to see what armored infantry is like. You don't want to do that. They'll send you to a parachute unit or whatever. No. So they, okay, what the heck. So they sent me to an armored division, and I learned about that. So I became an armored infantryman with a different serial number. So now I had, for an MOS, military occupational specialty, 71560. And nobody could ever figure that out, because nobody's ever pitched a 21-ton armored personnel carrier out of the side of an airplane before. So it was a little unique situation. And I was qualified in all kinds of infantry.
And tell me about this pitching stuff out of the airplanes. How did you get involved in that?
Well, that's a little more complicated.
Okay, we're going to have to time out then, because we'll come back to that.